Okay, so welcome back to what I've called the Crime and Justice live streams. This is day 2 and this is the police. Now I will be following on from the game I began on the channel, which is also in the live section. So I will be skimming over game mechanics and so on as we go along, for those who didn't see that. I think, do I load? Yeah. I think that's correct. Yep.
Why would a man need a barn? To store all the stuff you can't bring home. About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn.
Well, I have a second. I'm just going to lower my personal audio of the game. It's a bit loud.
I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn. Well, fine. Not every day that someone comes to visit your barn.
That shouldn't affect
In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn. I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn, especially guests with their own personal bodyguards. But Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car.
Yeah, I prefer to let the voice actors do the work for text where possible. So it's more immersive to watch, like a mini movie or a talking book.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the Mafia?
Jack, I'm leaving tonight. More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. Don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
You told your Mafia friends about your plans.
Jackie, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me, my family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Your contract, Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the Mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder.
So, like I always say, regardless of when you see this, whether it be live if you come to this stream later, or as video on demand, there's always something to be had while watching the content, but if you do come live in the future, you can influence these choices. But as for now, I'm going to support the friend, which ultimately means I end up in the pocket of the mafia, but also that him and his family stay alive.
Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank. At the time, I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in. I'm probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, and I've agreed to help the Mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a Mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
So pretty much what happens is every day before shift, workers will come to you, such as this person, and give you a reason why they want the day off and stuff. If it's something reasonable, you can say yes, especially if the energy's low, but as you can see, the energy's high, but the actual skill of the officer is pathetically low. So unofficially, wink, they're a cannon fodder. So let's see, I was up all night reading an exciting detective story, Last Temptation of Neptune. She didn't get to read the ending. She wants to go home and read the rest of the book. I'm going to say no, because it's basically stupid. Yeah. And just for reference, I have muted music entirely because the very first time I played this game, I was not a copyright, I was pulled for future advertising revenue if I were to keep the music in. So the video was edited by YouTube to take the music out, and so therefore from now on there'll be no music. So basically this is basically explaining that once a month you can go to City Hall and you can ask for, I think it's one additional cop slot or a raise in your wage, or a detective slot. Oh, and there you go, an upgrade for the SWAT team. Well, considering there's a lot of crimes that you need detectives to solve, it would make more sense to ask for a detective. Okay, let's take a look. Are we full? No, we can have one more cup. That's a detective as well. Okay, well I'm definitely hiring that guy. But before I do, 1, 2, 3, that's shift A, so this will be for shift B. Okay. I like to equal out the people for the shift. I do. How you going? If you can hear me, just type OK, and then we're all good. I'll talk you through the game as quick as I can. Okay, so very briefly, calls will come in depending what they are. It comes up in the top right. Some are really dangerous, some are not particularly dangerous. You can usually tell by the name if you can get away with sending not a skilled police to deal with them. So this lady will eventually be fired because she's old and terrible. She's only 5. It's basically the skill points. And so she's been sent by me to that call, and you have to fill exactly the amount of police asked for. So they've asked for 2, so I send my 2 weakest, and that's basically it. And then while you wait, you press R2 to give you game information. As you can see, last time I played, one of my better officers got killed. Actually, the very first major call I did, the lady got killed. And again, as you saw there, it's an important job. It's dealing with a robbery, so you send the 4 best cops and a SWAT team to deal with it. And that's basically what you do. The only difference is when you don't have enough cops like now, you can't answer the calls. So you have to wait till the other cops come back. This is the result of the call by sending the cops, and they failed, so they lost points. And as you can see, the energy on the pictures at the bottom of the screen, that's how quick it is until the officers come back, and you can't use them till they come back. So as you can see, they've turned up at the robbery to help the robbery, and it gives you a choice because there's a problem. It says the shop has 2 exits, from which some people have already fled. So do you tell the police to sneak up at the back door, enter through the main door, or drive a patrol car through the front window? This would be where I'd actually take advice from the chat. So if you like, you can decide what I do. So would you like to sneak up to the back door, go through the front door, or use the car to break through the front window? Keep in mind it's a robbery. So it's 1 for sneak, 2 for main entrance, 3 for use the car in the front window. So what I'll do, so you haven't got to worry about typing this time. I'll do it this time, but next time when I do this game I'll be taking votes basically. So I'm going to do the smart thing and just sneak up. And let's see. The stick-up man has noticed the police presence and took the cashier hostage. He's holding a gun to their head, as you can see. Very simple art style. Back off or I'll blow his goddamn face off. And the cashier is yelling an unknown language. So you say, you in the mask, shut your face and drop the weapon. Oh my god, that I'm not repeating the middle one. I'll do a polite version. He says, shut up, shop person, you're making things complicated. Or silently take aim at the robber. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, it's kept it going, so nobody's died yet. Now the robber's getting nervous. Don't shoot please, I need the money. I'll just take a bit and go, no one was hurt. The cashier starts crying. Shoot the guy flat, tell him there's only 2 ways out of the shop, in cuffs or a bag, body bag that is, or let him go. I'm just going to shoot him. So and basically that means you're successful and every cop involved gets a stat boost. And that is basically how it works. Can I not just send the one lady? Nope. Okay. So now this is called an investigation. Usually I will send the rubbish cop because I don't care that much. Well, not about that particular thing anyway. I don't even know how many cops I've got working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 is that? Okay, so they're running 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll handle that in a second. Doesn't help when your hand goes weird. I don't have the manpower to deal with that. And basically this is what the game does. It makes you make choices with the manpower options that you have. And then the other side is the report of the things you've already done. Because they were the 2 things I couldn't attend because I didn't have the manpower. So right, this is to do with the following big investigation about a robbery ring. So put the highest guy in first, then the second assistant, then the third assistant. And it will help you do things a lot more effectively. So I'm just going to double check the count again because I forget things quite often in these games. 16, that's 8 each, so each one needs 8 police. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So shift A can have the extra staff. You're hired, and it's as simple as that. You just fill up the roster space. Sadly, you never know when someone's going to get shot or go crooked. That's just basically thank you for turning up. And the police get a stat boost.
211 in progress.
Obviously there is more detail than that, but I'm what do they call it? I'm paraphrasing just to make it quicker. I've not seen that before, about there being too much work, so I will draft in. I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna ask people. Well, it says order. I don't like using that phrase, but that'll do. Not overdo it. I'll call in 2 extra bodies, and then with tomorrow's shift I'll call in them to cover for the other guys. And basically that's the play loop. You have a certain amount of calls each day. You do the calls if your staff are available, and then you do it, and then story things happen. Of course, it's quite a laid back game. The simple pressure of it is can you keep your staff alive by making the right choices and answering the calls in time with the correct amount of staff.
Mr. Boyd,
so
there was a man here earlier.
Allocate
He
things
left
properly.
you this.
A man? What man? Who let him on this floor?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. I asked him his name, but he just ignored me. He was talking on a big telephone, you know, one of those portables. He gave me this envelope and left.
Damn. Okay, let's see about this. Of course, they could have shot them the second they took the photo, but I knew Kendrick and his family were all right. Either way, the message was not that they got out. It meant that I was in. My servitude to the Mafia had begun. I'd only been in my new position 5 seconds, and I already knew why Kendrick called it a contract. You sound doomed if you call it what it is. A curse. Boyd.
Good morning, Jack. I believe you just received my message.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget some people don't recognize my voice. But I assure you, Jack, if I was sitting right there in front of you, you'd have no trouble recognizing me. Like I was a member of your family. Even better than a wife, perhaps. A wife can betray you. No man is immune.
I don't talk to people who don't tell me their names.
Oh, Jack, don't be so childish. You're too old to run away from strangers. Yes, we both are. And in our old age, friendship becomes rare and all the more precious. But of course, we must work with new people and find out new names. So if you insist, Jack, let us formally meet. Hello, Jack Boyd. I'm Christopher Sand.
Wonderful, Mr. Sand. And what is it you do for a living?
Oh, you'll soon find out all about that. Well, you'll learn much more than a simple policeman could ever expect. You're a simple policeman no longer, Jack. Don't turn off your phone. Start today.
Eight in 10. It's been my go-to principle since my first day on the job. I've got to let my colleagues hush up what they need to, 2 out of 10 times, so that they'll help me with the remaining 8. 80 out of 100, 800 out of 1,000, I'm proud of those statistics. It's not so bad for Freeburg, right? But now I just officially became a mafia whore. I'm supposed to be fearing for my life, for the lives of my wife and children. But the only thing I can think, what's gonna happen to 8 and 10?
So yeah, basically, the main character Frank, who we take control of, has just become, well, part of the mafia, whether he wanted to or not, by saving his friend's life. The guy has technically got a drinking problem, that's why there's a bottle. He does have enough energy to work, but because he has the drinking problem, he can make mistakes, and people could probably end up dead, so I'm gonna send him home, because if cops do end up dead, at least if it's by a mistake by me, then he can say, oh, I did that, rather than the game's mechanics causing issues. Interesting. So, oh, I did ask for an extra detective, didn't I? So, 3 and 3, that guy's tired. I'll put the new one on B. Yeah, so like I said before, most of this game is allocating where people work, making sure you've got the right cops going to the right jobs to stop people making mistakes and innocent people dying, as well as your police.
410A in progress.
And now with the added wrinkle of, oh no, I'm in the mafia's pocket, which is never good. But it makes for a good story, and that's part of the game, so I hope that's interesting to you as you watch, or if you see something, or you know, anything in the game or anything is on your mind, you're welcome to leave a comment and we'll chat about it. That's what we're here for, just to chill together,
410A complete.
have conversations as they come up. As you can see, I made a right choice there because the arrest was successful. Right, so this is carjacking. So you send 3 pretty much high level members of police to deal with it, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get the arrest, because the more correct arrests that you get, the more wage you can ask for in the future, or the less pressure you get put on. So the officers that went to deal with the carjacking, it's escalated to this, that's why it's gone red. And as you can see, it says they've determined the car thief's location, overtake the criminal and attempt to get him into custody, catch up with the stolen car and open fire, or overtake the offender and block the road. So personally, I'm gonna go for the block the road, and according to the game it was the correct thing to do, because he was apprehended, nobody died, and it's a good old stat boost. So yeah, it's just making sure people get back in time to cover the next call, and obviously the game gets more difficult as the mafia ask for favours, because on my second full playthrough I actually got killed. The actual character of Jack got killed, shot in the back of the head, drive by at his house, because apparently I made a bad decision or something. And there you go, that was a false alarm about a hostage situation. The mother of the person wouldn't let him play till he ate all his broccoli. Well done, game developer, that is some incredible story writing. So yeah, thank you for dropping in. I hope you're having a good relax. How has your day been? If you have anything you'd like to discuss or any questions about the game, I always forget to put the marker in the right place. A quick thing about the game, you do have certain time limits for the stuff to get back before you can send them on the next call. So sometimes it is a case of luck, like will they return in time.
We've got a situation here.
Okay, so again, just to save time, it says a police cruiser caught up with the perpetrator's van, shoot out the tyres, use the bullhorn to order the van to stop. I might just shoot out, shoot out the tyres. Oh dear, okay. I might be able to fix this. Van takes a sharp turn, crashes through a window of a sex shop. Woman exits the vehicle, grabs a shop attendant and puts a gun to his head. Shoot the criminal straight in the head. Throw a rubber sex doll at the assistant. I'm going to do that as a distraction, see what happens. Nice. The distraction worked. Everybody got away safe. And that's the random things that happen. So that's the loop. It's nice and relaxing, nothing too stressful until you actually don't have enough time to answer calls. So I think if I continue to rotate 2 people from opposite shifts each time, I reckon it'll be slightly easier. And there you go, that's the end of the day. So, okay, that was the shift I just did, right? So, as a favour to the next shift, you ask that person to work tomorrow and that person to work tomorrow. So you're not short-handed. I wonder why that guy is so tight. He's not even on a case. We're referring to the brown ones, the detectives, the brown squares, and the older detective in the middle seems very tired for no reason, because he's not actually on an active case at the moment. Okay, so as you can see, after each day you get a nice little kind of snapshot of what's going on, and there was a racist problem within the city, and the game kind of asks you to make a racially motivated decision, which luckily I didn't. I don't think I showed
The
it
people of
on
Freeburg have built up
stream.
a tolerance for the petty horrors
Maybe
of
on the
modern
very
life.
first stream.
You'll never see
But
crowds
as I
gathering
explained, I
around a
didn't
beaten
have a choice,
passerby.
and it was a
Folks
game
rarely even
mechanic.
slow to gawk at a car accident. And street theft doesn't turn heads anymore. Been a long time since people got worked up about stuff like that. So when I ran into a troubled crowd on the way to work, I knew there was something serious going on. Something bad enough to knock these people out of their daily rhythm. And we're talking about people who would step over a corpse if it was blocking the door to the coffee shop. But apparently all it takes is a bunch of leaflets, or spreading broken glass across Main Street, or releasing a couple of hundred rats in the ice arena. The mysterious figure taking responsibility for these strange acts goes by the alias Robespierre. Nobody knows who he is, what he wants, or what all this adds up to, from the buckets of lard spread on the sidewalk to the front door of City Hall covered. But this strange cross between childhood pranks and cheap theatrics has got the people all worked up. Everyone understands when some Freeburg crook satisfies the basic human need to rob and kill. But when someone steals a lion from the local zoo and locks him in a cell below the courthouse, the people start asking questions. Myself, I kinda like this Robespierre. It's not just the pranks he's pulling or his green bull's head emblem. I just like his funny nickname. Robespierre? Really? Who does that make me? The Marquis de Lantenac? I don't think so. In the old books about revolutions, I fancy myself the old gunner who goes off to war with a bag of damp powder. Or maybe the innkeeper who tops up the beer kegs with mop water. It's something to think about.
Okay, so I was just letting the voice actor do the work there. Okay, so apparently I've got a deputy now. I've got tickets to go watch filming of a TV show. I've always wanted to be on TV. Can I have the day off? No, you must be joking. Our house burned down last night and my elderly father was inside. Now the game does say sometimes the people lie, but technically that member of staff is terrible, so I will let them go, but they need to turn up tomorrow. He claims his son's come down with a serious illness, but it's a high level, so I say nope, I need you to work. You can be mad tomorrow. In fact, can I just... No, I have to do it in a different screen. I was gonna say I can actually, if I have a reasonable, a reasonable idea as to why a policeman can be fired, then I can fire them. And oh no, don't play any sound. I have muted the sound of music, but you never know with this game. Okay, what are we looking at? So as said before, because the main character is now, well, like the screen says, basically a member of the family, every now and again the head of the mafia will message and say, we're doing a crime today, don't send police. And every time you do that, the mob give you money. And as you can see here, depending, say if you find out you've got a mole or something, that's gonna report you for corruption, you can send them on a job, and then when they arrive, as long as you pay the mob when they arrive, they get killed and you walk away with clean hands. Let's see, your new assistant is not as useless as you might seem. You can handle some duties when you're pressed for time. Okay, so let's have a look, and as you can see here, you can boost morale by letting certain people go to a barbecue. You can make lower ranking staff, such as the 95, the lowest guy, you can send him to the academy for training. So I might do that in the future, but not today. And then if the story requires that you're in trouble, you can hire a snitch to find out who's gonna be against you, and then you can use the mob to kill them if you have enough money. Because basically the premise of the game is, you see at the top it says day 7. The game itself actually lasts 180 days, and if you can make it to 180 days without losing your job or being fired or being killed, that's how you finish the game. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. It's okay, I was taking a look at no frames yet. As that improves, I will explain how investigations work.
410A in progress. Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
No one died. Wasn't the best, but no one died. To be honest, sometimes that's all you can hope for. Go to the job, hope no one gets killed. Nice, at least something went well there. Welcome to the stream, nice to see you. Or if you was here before, welcome back. Bear with me, I do have a glitchy analog stick, so sometimes those things will happen. Luckily they allowed me to send 2 instead of 3 people. Oh, it's like that, is it, game? Okay. So as you can see there, I've got 32 seconds to send someone, and it says they've got a crime going down at 22:09 at the engineering plant. So basically, if I want $4,000, I don't answer that police call. I let the time run out. Well, that's not till 22:09. And the secondary story of the game is the character who we play, Frank, is trying to save money for retirement by any means he can. So he actually needs to do... Oh my god. Oh, the civilian died. Sorry, we caught the guy, but a member of the public died. I was just about to say, oh no, one of my staff died, but he was a member of the public, and I don't know them, so...
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation.
Okay, all the lights are on. When the police arrive, the museum caretaker explains that he's only had a couple of weeks. Have I read that right? He's only had the job a couple of weeks and he's worried about being fired over this foolishness. Please calm him down, and points to the bathroom stall that the artist locked himself in. Come out with your hands up, break the door, or go into the toilet next to where the guy is. I'll go with the passive. Oh dear. Right, so terrified and tearful young man comes out with a knife and insists that he's engaged in some kind of performance art, and no one understands him. He refuses to surrender and is threatening to stab himself. Did that work? Yeah, I confused him by saying, tell me about your work, and then they took him down. So what's going on with you today, viewer? And if you had a good day, anything going on?
(9/11) in progress.
So now this is the call I was asked to not interfere in for $4,000. So I'm going to accidentally not see that call whatsoever. And I'll get myself a lovely $4,000. Now this is how investigations work. You get clues at the top of the screen. You can read the clues and work out what happened, and then from reading the clues you put the pictures in order to work out what happened. Now I could do that but in order to be quicker I do actually know some of these already because I've already done them. So for quickness I am going to do that, and then when you get them correct you see there it tells you basically you've nailed it, you're all good. Hello again, welcome back, nice to see you, or if you're new to the stream, welcome in general. This is the police. It's a police procedural game where you put the officers in the right places, you do investigations the best you can, They're actually very good. There's number 2 as well. There's This Is the Police, this one, and there's This Is the Police 2, which is set after this one, and I do have that as well. And then there's the spin-off Rebel Cops, which is based in this universe but slightly different. If you can get it for relatively cheap, I'd say definitely get it. Most of the serious story is voice acted. You only really have to read the red stuff, because mostly you just put the highest numbers on the police calls when they come in. So again, to help out the following shift, you say try high numbers but not too high. You say, hey, do me a favour, come in tomorrow. Now this is the thing I was referring to. You can fire people if you have a legitimate reason, and in the case of that person and that person, their retirement age, so you can fairly remove them without going to a tribunal and stuff, because you can get done for corruption. So before you start each day, you can take a few seconds to see snapshot headlines of the story in the background, like City Treasury doles out 90 grand for the mayor's birthday, because basically the mayor's crooked. You basically find that out at the beginning of the game. The Rhodosphere person is the vigilante with the green ball that we saw in the cutscene briefly, and the restaurant thing is just random at the moment. Even if this game is full price, I think it's less than 15 quid. It's definitely worth it, because even if you think you've got it nailed, anything can go wrong at any time and it will completely ruin your game. And if you can actually get the pair for a good price, get the pair, because the story actually carries on and it makes both games a lot better. I mean, they're even giving you a psychological test, as you can see right here. The lady's saying, look at the picture, what do you see? Do you see a man taking a handful of pills, 2 native people banging drums, or several flying heads? Now, I'm going to answer what I see, but again, usually I'd take votes if there is more people about. So I'm just going to say I see a guy taking pills. And then again it says, is it a man walking into his house, or going back to his house rather, a butterfly, or a man with a clock for a face? I see a leg going through a door, so I'm picking that. Let's see, a woman decorating a Christmas tree, a dancing girl, or oh my god, or a blue alien raping a pig. So this developer's weird, man. Clearly to me it's a woman holding a Christmas tree decoration. Let's see, a man giving a woman a Christmas ornament, a tower on a hill, which could work because I can kind of see that, or a baby with spider legs. To be completely honest, I genuinely see the man giving the woman the Christmas ornament because it looks like a bracelet on the lower arm. but it's completely personal. All three of those answers are possible depending on what your eyes see. So yeah, definitely, if you can get a 1 and 2, not as a pack, but together in general for a reasonable price, I definitely get them, and I don't usually say that. But these games will keep you busy. Cool. Like, for example, this one here, what do you see? My answer would be pieces of the Christmas ornament all over the floor. But everybody's eye is different. So, do you see the pieces of the ornament on the floor? Do you see an ice cream cone? Or do you see marching hammers? So it is possible to see all three depending where your eyes are focused. So for me personally, I see ornament pieces. Because this is all interpretation, art sort of thing. So this one says, is it the man yelling at the woman, a chess rook, which is the castle in chess? I know most people know that, but some people may not play chess. And then from there, I personally see the woman falling over the Christmas tree. And the psychology, oh, why have I lost the word today? The psychotherapist, or however each culture pronounces it, basically says, thank you for your time. I'll talk to you about the results in the coming days. So this is day 9, and again, as I mentioned briefly earlier, the actual game, if you survive, lasts 180 days, because that's when the character you play, Frank, is supposed to retire. And due to things I found out in the second game that I will not mention whatsoever, things do get very, very interesting at some point, but I don't know why those things happen, so it'll be interesting. I need to not have that woman anymore. I think I've remembered how to fire people. You can go home because you're tired. I'll just say yes. I don't mind when you come back. You're in the orange. Daughter's over there. He wants a day off to go to his daughter's art thing. You're 250 points, mate. You're one of the best staff I have. No, you're working. And there's a star thing in the corner, as you can see. That's a promotion stripe. So when you have a high level member of staff that's been performing well in calls and getting the arrests, you can promote them as if to say thank you for doing a good job, and I think it gives them a stat boost as well. So this guy definitely deserves it. And he's gone from 350 to 380. And there you go now. Analog stick. When you play this privately, of course, you will be able to go into those records and actually have the music on in the background while you're answering the police calls. So, you know, you can listen to relaxing music while you take down criminals or get your colleagues shot in the face. depending what happens. Do I want to take the job to take down the red masks? Yes, I do. But basically you have a limited amount of time to take down the whole gang by taking down one person at a time. That's me paraphrasing, so we're not here for too long going over the same things. Huh? Oh man, I don't want to. If I arrest the guy, the whole thing closes. Are you kidding me? Is this thing glitched? Oh, thank God. Alright. Right, so you, again, like before, put your highest guy on, then the second highest, then the third highest. I used to play with only 2 detectives per shift, and you'd never get the clues in time. Okay, this is story stuff, so it is basically important, so this one time I'll read it properly. A few months ago, an unregistered feminist organisation appeared in Freiburg, that's the name of the city we work in. Today they're holding their first protest. As far as we know, the organisation is backed by foreign sponsors, and their goal is to get their people into important positions in City Hall. Protests today may escalate into something more serious, and we need to show them who's in charge. Use batons and tear gas, even firearms if necessary. Now this is about the basically that brief conversation we had a while ago about the developer having a bit of a miss about how to handle delicate subjects, because the game's basically saying if I don't take down these feminists, I fail a side quest mission thing that's important to getting better things later in the game, which isn't great because you basically don't have a choice. So I will be taking down that thing purely because I need the benefits later in the game. So as you can see, I had legal cause to fire that lady because she was failing a lot and she was old. So that's Shift A. So now her replacement will be this guy. Hide to the A shift, he'll work next time. Yeah, the answers to the psychological test were considered okay. I just need to relax and listen to more music, which is what I referred to at the beginning of the day. Solid, yeah. It's all my money, but I'll do it. So I've just brought evidence to find out what's going on somewhere else. 1, 2, 3, you're getting fired anyway. Again, this is not personal choice from me, this is just to advance in the game. So anybody who sees this after the fact, don't be personally offended by my choice. It's just a gameplay mechanic choice and not personal. Crime is going down at 12:40 at the casino, so I need to ignore it if I want the money, and I do need the money because I've just spent all of it. Oh man. Okay, that'll have to wait. Oh my days. Oh no, man. Oh no. Oh my, oh man. 2 of them. 2 of them. Come on. 2 of them, man.
in progress.
Damn it, that's... Oh no, that's the casino, I'm ignoring that one, I need the money. So yeah, as I said before, usually if you're playing a fair game and you don't care about extra money, and you don't care about possibly being drive-by killed in your own home, you can ignore the requests of the Mafia. I personally would not. Because you will, and I have personally in... Oh man, killing civilians. I have personally in other playthroughs been killed by the Mafia for not doing their favours.
1210 in progress.
Also nose instead because the other guy's tired. There you go, a bit of help in the community and sadly a bit of under the table for the Mafia, and I'm back up to 10 grand.
Officer on scene, looks like we have a situation here. 1210 complete.
Have it. Bit of pepper spray. That's how you do it. So don't worry, I won't be playing a massive giant chunk of the game because as you can already see, oh man, I don't have stuff to cover him. Yeah, basically the game's massive in the scale of days. Yes, I'm aware I didn't want to do it, but I was told by my boss.
611 in progress.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant, hot spot.
Oh god damn it. Come on, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I want to send somebody to that, that's important. What is it? Every time something important comes up, then... See, this is what's good about the game. You think you've got everything covered, and then a really serious crime comes up, and you're like, oh... Okay, so what we're looking at here should be that one. Then come on, staff, I need you to come back. Successful, that's great. I need you to come back, like, now.
It's 11 complete.
Oh, god damn it, they didn't give me time to... I'm not delaying to take money. I will declare them. Oh, no way. Damn it. Right. I think day 10's probably a nice day to stop once this day is done. So once this particular day is done, I would be taking a break, and then later today I will play another crime themed game. Well, crime or, you know, beating crime themed game. More than likely Empire of Sin, but I will let you know before that happens. So yeah, this will be the final day of this stream, but we will definitely what? I did everything you asked me to do and you cut him up. What is it? Oh, whatever. Okay, right. You lose one job slot. Okay, the weakest guy. Boom. Okay, so basically that person's a hero. Let's do something. I will happily send those two. Oh, okay. No, then it can wait.
410A in progress.
Okay, so where are we lucky? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely shift A. And that is that. Come on, analog stick. There we go. I'm going to ask for another detective to even out the workload. Why is he not working that day? Oh, I've called Beasley. You're working tomorrow then, mate. I need to pull in that guy to take down the gang. Oh, just yeah. You, and you.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
And I have to just send 2 of them because I need bodies. I need bodies for all the police calls. We have something going down at the courthouse at 6:30. Oh man, that's the hero thing. Do I let the hero go down or take them on? See, that's the quite cool thing about the game. Yeah, I want to let 2 of them go.
Looks like we have a situation here.
Okay. Sawmill surrounded by a 9-foot fence and the gates are locked from the inside. Knock on the gate. A man is threatening a young boy with circles. The man is screaming. I'm gonna risk pouncing from. They technically failed, but no one was damaged, so I mean.
in progress. 910B complete.
Well, I don't have to purposely not do anything. I don't have enough staff. So even though it works out well for me, the coder gets more money, I genuinely don't have the staff. So I'm not technically being crooked.
in progress. Testing complete. We've got a situation here.
Okay, door to the apartment is locked from the inside. Intelligent screens can be heard from within. Break down the door, knock down the door. I'll go with that one. Someone's banging a gank on the floor. There's just been sat on. Alright, they put bleach in a syringe. I'm gonna play along. Yeah, basically you play along with the person's delusions in the game, of course, and that was the right course of action, apparently. Damn it, I'm gonna run out of time to do that thing in a minute. Right, so that's the end of the day. Definitely going to ask the healthiest members to work again. One more should be fine. I'll ask that lady to do it as well. There's a checkpoint. So if I give it a few seconds just to make sure it's definitely set in the checkpoint, that will be it for this part of This Is the Police. It will return. Bear with me a second. This Is the Police will return in the future. Thank you for watching. This has been This Is the Police on the Crime and Justice game streaming evening day 2. And I'll be back later with another stream. And I'll let you guys know what it is on Twitter and the PS4 dashboard. Thank you for watching. This has been KHG, and I'll see you next time.